I mean, the whole thing is just ridiculous. It's like society has now defined rape as not something as something inevitable and not something preventable. And those people who are victims of rape, like, are the ones that are being taught, the victims are the ones that are being taught not to prevent it. It's not, when the focus should be on trying to get the rapists to stop doing what they're doing. They're the ones who should be punished and criticized for it, not the people who are victims for wearing a certain outfit out or drinking too much, or like, it's so ridiculous, young girls or any girls really being told by their mothers and their peers, like, oh, don't wear that, you'll get raped, or you have to watch your drink and you can't put your drink down because someone will put something in it, and you can't trust guys to get you a drink at a party, and all this stuff. When, like, of course, that girls should keep an open mind that, not everyone in the world is a great person and terrible things might happen, but at the same time, within our culture, the focus should be on stopping the problem, not teaching the victims on how to not be raped. It's ridiculous. I think the slut walk is an amazing thing, for a lot of reasons. Well, first off, it's attention grabbing. I mean, you hear slut walk and people are like, what is that, and they look at these girls and they look at this movement and they're like, they're not sluts. And it's, what you wear does not mean consent. You, like, what, because your belly button ring is out, that means that people can do whatever they want to you? It's not fair. It doesn't work like that. And it's it's very personal for me because I have a good friend who was raped, when she was 16, and I remember how hopeless and hurt she was, and how she didn't report it, and the guy essentially got away with it, and it was terrible. She felt voiceless. She was voiceless. And I think the slut walk is something that can give women a voice and band together and not feel alone, and realize that they are victims. They didn't do anything wrong, they didn't do anything to deserve this, and it gives them a voice and it makes them stand out. And it causes awareness for people who have been affected by something like this, and then for future women to realize that if something does happen like this, then they need to voice it and that they aren't alone. Society has been has changed completely in the last 100 years. I mean, we went from a completely patriarchal society where it's all stay-at-home moms, and it's like, women are speak when spoken to, and you know over the past 100 years we've earned the right to vote, and more women are going to college, and more women are getting jobs, and realizing what it's worth. And there is so much worth in a woman, and as a culture we're all starting to realize that. And as women as a whole in our society continue to move forward and continue to gain strength and respect, the rape culture and education and standing out against it and all of that is so necessary for the advancement of women as a whole. This is something that women need to participate in and need to understand, and not play the victim card, and they need to stand out against rape and how men have been treating them in all ways, but especially in this way. I just hope that one day we can live in a world, when I grow up and I'm a mother, that I can have a son who I know will respect women and not ever do anything like that to a woman, and understand that no means no and yes means yes, and the difference between the two. And, I also hope to have a daughter who I don't have to worry about her expressing herself in any way that she wants without being a victim to something like this, simply because of what she's wearing or what she decides to do, or I don't have to warn her about putting her drink down in case someone's going to put something in it, and maybe education should start younger too on this whole rape culture. I mean, high school, middle school, etc., before kids get into alcohol, and because alcohol is obviously such a big, confusing part of the whole situation. But, if we start education out young and you teach kids, no, this is not how people are supposed to be treated, and this is wrong. And when you grow up and you start to develop your sexuality and you get older and you create these relationships, what people deserve and what you should and shouldn't do as a person.